They do animal testing in this movie like it's nothing.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
So
Bring in the Reese's.
how they did that was they suffocated them. They pumped them full of carbon monoxide.
When, if they pass out and don't...
Ah, yes, come in. Our featured presentation is about to start. You have entered into cult cinema with the dastardly evil Cheese Film and my partner in crime, Hecubus. This is the Grindhouse Podcast. We're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome back to the Grindhouse Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Cheese Film, and joined with me is Mr. Hecubus.
Thank you very much.
Coming in from a place far unknown to us. And of course, running the cameras back there is our AI-generated robot in disguise, Mr. Rangi Ofiki.
Randy a fickle, but thank you. Proud to be here.
Mr. Randy has a weird name. We haven't programmed it right yet.
Well, we should just tell him that he's from the dimension that Google's quantum computer uses to make calculations.
He is.
So we really don't know anything about him. Because
He just
he's
showed up.
interdimensional.
Yeah. Goddamn. Anyway, we'll be talking about a film that came out in 1971.
Yeah, good year.
Yeah, pretty good year, I would say. A film directed by Robert Wise. A film written by the great and late Michael Crichton.
Well, the film wasn't written by him.
Well-
the book was written by him. The screenplay is by Nelson Gidding. And I thought he had directed this too.
Nelson did?
No, Michael Crichton. When I first heard about this, like I saw the book, it's like only this thick. So I'm like, well, I'll read the book first, then watch the movie, which is what I did. But I don't know why I thought Michael Crichton directed it. I thought, oh, that's cool. He's directing his own thing. But he did go on in a couple years to direct Westworld, which is awesome.
Yeah.
This movie's good.
This movie was really good.
Very good movie.
And
But Westworld's cooler.
Got some cool stuff written down about it because I watched the commentary on the Arrow release here.
I only watched
But-
the movie.
What is the movie?
I'm about to get to it, and I've prolonged saying the name of the movie on purpose, Randy. I prolonged it because this is Michael Crichton's first novel
Yes,
that he has credited to Michael Crichton.
right.
Which is The Andromeda Strain. A movie about and maybe this sounds familiar, an outbreak of a unknown disease, an alien disease that's wiping out a whole town, wipes out an entire town, and these
Yeah.
scientists have to come up to some solution, otherwise the end of the world could break out.
Right. And he was inspired by, did I write it down? No, I don't think I did. It's called the Ipsos File or something like that from Great Britain. Mm-hmm. And it's a spy novel about, basically, it's the blueprint for what would we do if this happened. And that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
Like there is some kind of contingency, secret contingency to take care of some kind of biological disaster. Mm-hmm. And this is their story. It's presented like it's real, though. At the very beginning with the... this is based on the files that are going to be coming out soon. And it's all bull.
So, and the reason that's in the movie is because it's in the book, too. At the back of the book,
that.
in the acknowledgments, it gives all this, like, where all the credits are and where he got all this information from, and it's all fabricated.
Uh-huh.
So the opening credits that are like, these are the actual files and stuff like
Yeah.
that, it's all fabricated. It's all fake. It's to sell the illusion of what would really happen.
Right.
Which, by the way, the CDC said, this is the most realistic take ever
It makes total sense, too.
on how this would be.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Except for one thing. But we can get to that in a minute.
But like, and it's they highly praise it. This movie, a movie called Contagion, and something else.
Contagion's pretty good, too.
The CDCs are like,
Yeah.
if you ever wanted to know how it would go, this is how it would go. And it's partly as accurate as it is because Michael Crichton was a medical student.
Right. Yeah.
He studied medicine. He studied all this kind of stuff. And while he was studying
science-minded.
he wrote a couple books under two different pen names. And this one, he was like, well, I'll put this out. If it does good, then maybe we'll do it. And it was a New York Times bestseller. So
Yeah, it
millions
was.
of copies, almost immediately.
And one. And I bought one in like 1990 or whatever.
So that kind of sparked what would become
Techno
things like
thriller.
What do they call it? What did he call it?
I thought they called it techno thriller.
No, the commentator, Mr. Brian Reisman. Man, he called it something cool. Not science thriller, but something like that.
Fart box.
And it like this Jurassic Park, Micro, these Michael Crichton stories that are a little too grounded in science
Yeah.
to not be fantasy.
Right.
You know? I don't know.
Got dire wolves back.
We did. We literally did. I don't know. Do you ever read Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Because I read it last year, and I mean it keeps you engaged the entire time.
Yeah, it's a good
and
adventure.
It's full of science jargon.
I think Michael Crichton does what's his name? Shoot, I can't think of his name. Because I read The Hunt for Red October before I saw the movie, and that reads, like a technical journal almost. It's way too much. Way too much. One person can't drive a submarine, so I don't need to know everything.
How to drive a submarine.
Right. And then it has the good adventure stuff of the story.
Right.
But Michael Crichton tones it back just enough to where straights like us
Right.
can enjoy it more. Because I was like almost flipped through pages of the Red October. I'm like, no, come on. Or Moby Dick. If you ever want to know about whales, read Moby Dick.
Moby Dick is more wordy than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's
Read that
good.
in school.
And then, you get all the other stuff too, but there's a lot of stuff about real
Whales.
stuff about whales.
Actual whale biology.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Randy didn't check this picture out. And when I was watching it, because it's like 2.5 hours long.
It's 131 minutes.
It's pretty long. And I was sitting there watching it, and he was talking about how this movie's heavily dialogue driven. There's no action really in it at all.
Except for the very end.
And the ways that they kind of got around doing certain things. And the cinematographer, I don't know if I've written it down, but like he did other movies too. One I just recently saw, and I can't think of it, and it'll come to me. But like the editor worked with Orson Welles.
Yeah, right.
Did Citizen Kane.
Well,
so
let's do that real
of-
quick because Robert Wise, the director, won Academy Awards for West Side Story and The Sound of Music.
He did everything. He has done every genre of film you can do.
Robert Wise?
Yeah.
That's why his name's so familiar to me. I'm like, why do I know that?
And
I'm
you've seen Randy, pull up Robert Wise's filmography because you've seen probably all of his movies.
Yeah, and Robert Wise was an editor
that
on
again.
Citizen Kane.
Maybe it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
did
also
this.
directed the Sand Pebbles, Steve McQueen movie that was critically praised and commercially failure.
Aw.
That it's, well, whatever. We can talk about the Sand Pebbles some other time. But yeah, he's the one that was the editor of Citizen Kane, which was nominated for Best Film Editing but didn't win. And yeah, that was what I got down.
You said Robert Wise.
Robert
Yeah.
Wise, yeah.
His filmography.
It stars Arthur Hill, James Olson, Kate Reid, David Wayne, Paula Kelly, and George Mitchell. And none of these are marquee stars.
No.
But you probably have seen stuff that every one of these people have been in. You'll recognize people if you watch older stuff.
And I wrote this down because he brings up a cool little talking point. So he brings up another disaster movie called The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, which is an adaptation of I Am Legend,
Yep.
which was remade with Will Smith.
Right. And Charlton Heston as called the Omega Man.
Yes. He says, because this movie has a kind of a bunch of nobodies, or supporting actors now playing your lead actors.
Right.
He says that that's a good idea because the star power can take away from what you're watching.
Sometimes, yeah.
And I said this is a good thing to discuss on this podcast. So when watching something like I Am Legend or The Omega Man or any other disaster movie, that he did the day after the day the Earth stood still too.
Right, yeah.
That was another one I was thinking of. Does the star take away from the story? Are you more interested in seeing Will Smith act than you are seeing where this story is going to go?
Well, in that case, I think it's the story. But that's a good point because Will Smith has been other things, portrayed way too many different things to where he does a good job in that movie, I think. But I don't. Yeah. It's Will Smith doing that. It's not. He's the doctor scientist guy.
You don't believe that he's...
Right, not as much as like...
It's a vehicle.
Somebody that you wouldn't recognize.
Yeah.
Like Sam Neill, even though I'd seen Sam Neill in other stuff, but you could buy him being...
he's a paleontologist.
A paleontologist way easier than Will Smith being anything because he's been everything.
Right.
A cowboy or a fighter pilot. Yeah.
Did you get the list, Randy?
Yes. I showed it.
So walk us down this because you've definitely seen a lot of this man's movies.
So
we don't have to put it on the screen. Okay.
Well.
You don't have to.
Whatever.
It's ones that I notice are the Star Trek motion picture.
He did the first Star Trek
just
movie.
run out.
He did West Side Story, like you said. He did.
Just go across his top.
So the Hindenburg.
Yep. I think
Two People.
No.
The Andromeda Strain, Star, Sand Pebbles, Sound of Music, The Haunting.
The Haunting was the other one.
The
For
Haunting?
the Seesaw.
Yeah, the original one.
West Side Story, Odds Against Tomorrow, I Want to Live,
I Want to Live.
Run Silent, Run Deep.
Oh my God, my favorite submarine movie.
Love, Love, Love Until They Sail. This Could Be the Night. Somebody Up There Like Me.
Somebody Up There Likes
to
Me
a
is
Bad
classic.
Man. Helen of Troy. Executive Suite. So Big. Desert Rats. Destination Gobi.
So he's done just about
The
everything.
Dare. This is still. And then a bunch of old movies.
There's still the old movie.
Well, like
So it's Run Silent, Run Deep.
Born to Kill.
Yeah, Robert Wise makes good movies.
Yeah, he's
it's
everywhere.
wise to watch one of his. So a lot of those he
The
named
Body
off.
Snatcher.
Oh.
Boris
the-
Karloff.
The Body Snatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
With
not.
Karloff?
Yeah, it's not the aliens coming down thing. Anything.
No, I think it's a serial killer.
Yeah, I think he steals bodies that are recently
Grave digging.
deceased. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you check out anything he does. I would watch if just because he does it. If they're well paced, good movies. They're well photographed. Everything.
He keeps bringing up, man, and I'm so because this interview that he did on this took place around the same time Bird Box came out on Netflix.
Huh.
So it was pretty recently. I think that
Yeah.
came out in 2017.
I think so.
You know.
Maybe even 2019, but yeah, it's pretty recent.
And he kept bringing up like, well, you know, because like, what if like the flu mutated so bad, or like SARS came back, or blah blah blah. And I said, well, it did.
Right.
I now know how our government would treat this.
Well, okay, that's what I was going to say. So they had this giant facility. It's called Wildfire. Mm-hmm. And all right, so at the beginning of the movie, we see the two guys in those suits go to that town, which is a nowhere town in New Mexico, in the desert, and everybody's dead. Everybody but an old man and a baby. Mm-hmm. And they got these space suits that are supposed to be non-porous whatsoever, so the pathogen doesn't get in there. So that happens, and then that sets in motion the wildfire program. So a bunch of guys from the military go to these different doctors, and they say there's a fire and they're supposed to know immediately what that means, and they do. And so they gather. I call that part the getting the band back together.
Yeah. The Ocean's 11. We got one more job to do. Yeah.
And so they get the band back together. They do it also in Sphere. It's kind of the same idea. I'll talk about that in a minute. And they go to this facility, which is also out in the desert. It's a barley farm out in the middle of nowhere.
And then underneath,
there's like 7 layers of laboratory. And at the very bottom is a nuclear bomb. So if something is going to accidentally get out, a nuclear bomb is going to go off and completely obliterate whatever it's going to...
Any chance of it spreading.
Right.
Which would do the exact opposite.
And that is exactly what did not happen in Wuhan. There was nothing to incinerate anything. It's just, I'm not feeling good today. I think I'll go home. Cough on everybody.
Wow, we are not doctors. Please do not suppress this video. This is commentary on a movie.
Well, they came out with it. Even the government said it now.
I'm picking fun at YouTube censors.
Right.
Back in the
even today, but I think that you could say that now.
They were all...
the Red Room.
They would censor anything talking about the virus. I kept thinking, like, it's like, well, what would we do if, like, the bird flu came back and it just started taking out millions of people? And, I mean, whatever it is, we did experience what our government would do, and they would just deny everything's happening.
It would be a mess.
It's horrible.
It's just a huge mess.
There's so much controversy and everything about it.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what to do. But this came out in the 1970s.
1971.
And
the book came out in 69.
Also, with the 70s, brought a lot of those disaster movies.
Yeah.
A whole wave of environmental disaster.
Environmental.
Like being aware of our environment, because if we're not, the environment's going to be aware and strike back.
Yeah, Mother Nature. It's not nice to fool with Mother Nature. You guys don't have any idea what I'm talking about, but somebody out there probably does.
It's Batman and Robin.
No. It's a butter commercial or something. Or margarine. It's an old margarine commercial.
So we go down. It's a huge cylinder kind of laboratory. And those walls.
The whole movie is them explaining basically what they're doing.
Yes. The whole movie is
They go through everything. The colors of this level are this way because... and then as you go down, everything becomes more sterile. Mm-hmm. It's... really cool.
One hallway.
Yeah,
they just kept repainting.
Yeah,
that's how they did that. They built the hallway. They built the set, but they only built the one, and they just repainted it for whatever floor they needed it to be on.
Michael Crichton got to tour the set.
Michael Crichton has a cameo in this.
Does he?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I thought he directed it. I read in a magazine or something that. Who is he?
So I don't think you have a picture of it. But it's when they first bring the baby and the man in, and one of the suits guys walks through the door and is talking to him, and then there's a window, and there's a couple doctors out there, and one doctor's
I know what you're talking about.
He's got a cart.
Yeah.
That's Michael Crichton.
Okay. Well, he got to tour the studio, the set. Mm-hmm. You know who showed him around?
Who?
Steven Spielberg.
I had a feeling it was going to be Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg showed him around, yeah.
Spielberg produced this?
No, this is before he was in, before... it
was before Jaws, so this is before he even got...
And what did he do before that? The Great Train Robbers? It was before anything. It was before anything.
He did that truck movie.
Duel, yeah. Duel. But it was before that, too.
Which came out... We should talk about Duel. Duel is so awesome. Have you seen Duel? It's a TV movie.
Are you being serious right now?
Listen, I saw it for the first time last year.
I'm the one that told you to watch it.
Listen.
And told you it was a Steven Spielberg. Told you it was a TV movie. Told you they had to ask Dennis Weaver permission. Does anybody out there know who Dennis Weaver is? I didn't think so. They asked him permission. We want to try this new guy out.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg.
I couldn't
Duel is phenomenal.
And like I bring up that it's a TV movie because it's that insane.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like a TV movie.
No, not at all.
Not even an ounce.
No.
But speaking of TV movies, they remade this movie for AMC.
Wasn't it a show? I didn't get into it. I wanted to make sure I got the stuff for the right.
I think they did a show too. I think in 2008 they had a remake of this, but or it was a made-for-TV specials kind of thing where it was like a mini movie, but it was 4 episodes of this movie. And I don't know if I have any interest in watching that.
I don't.
Just because I think this one, I bring up a lot. If they remade this today, how they do it? Should they remake it? Because that question I feel like holds a lot of weight, especially now where Hollywood is remaking a lot of stuff. I don't think this one is one of the ones that should be remade. Like Casablanca, it's not. Like you don't remake this. There's a lot of movies they remake that people think like the original Godzilla. People love the original Godzilla, but they've remade it several times.
Yeah.
This movie, I don't think.
No, just leave it where it is because it's a time of its time too. So they're not gonna. They don't have the technology,
and it's right on the precipice of technology evolving even farther.
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of realistic stuff. Like they have rooms that have like TVs in the wall, but it's not like all TV, all monitors, a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's all deliberate.
They did
really be.
They used real computer stuff.
Yeah.
Effects, on the screens.
And you've got those giant control panels.
Yeah.
Doing all this math. And like a couple years later, personal computers were going to start becoming a thing.
Yeah, a few years later, yeah.
And like this is kind of...
You could afford it.
Yeah. But they weren't a whole entire room anymore.
Right.
They were like the consumer
it could fit on your desk.
Can have a desktop.
Right.
And this is like right before technology as we know it bloomed.
Right.
So it's really cool to see it that way too. And we bring up time capsule movies. Mm-hmm. This does kind of have elements of that. But it also feels just kind of timeless.
Yeah, right. Because they're really just trying to figure out something.
That's all.
Yeah. And the stakes are high because it's all humanity's at stake. But like these kinds of Das Boot is a lot like that. It's you got to figure out how to not die, and like those Star Trek episodes, both like the original and the Next Generation, do that a lot. Those are always my favorite ones, and this is really basically that. Mm-hmm. Scientists trying to work a problem,
and like
it's not boring. That sounds boring as hell, and it's not.
It keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Yeah.
But like if I was to go to a secret military laboratory,
right,
and they had computers that look like this, it would just kind of feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're way more powerful than anything we have, so they just got to be bigger. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Like you don't really see like rotary things. Like there's no, like I got to dial in the internet in order to Google something. Like they don't have anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any of those big tape reels like
that you see all the time.
Yeah, I don't think they're in here either.
They do a very well job of not making it look fiction.
Yes, like they really do.
Man, he brought up another because the commentator's father likes sci-fi movies and had a problem with one that I hadn't even heard of because it was too fi and not sci enough.
Oh, yeah,
too much fantasy instead of science. But this one
was it Star Wars?
No, well, Star Wars hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
But this one, I think, really does ground everything in just reality.
Yeah, everything is very... From when they're going to pick up the scientists, having armed guards with them for either protection or... No, you're going to come because you're at gunpoint to all the... Like, they give a non-porous suit that's hooked up. That's the only way in or out of the room.
Yeah,
is through this suit.
And or like when you go to the next level, the clothes you were just wearing get incinerated.
Yeah,
like there's no. It's all sterile to the umpteenth degree.
Right. And at one point they're wearing paper clothes.
Yeah, they're paper.
It looks just like cloth. Well, that's one way to say to the audience, guess what? We're not wearing paper.
And I'm because I want to talk about what helps make this movie exciting that you wouldn't even really pick up on, which is a lot of the camera work and the editing. Which, by the way, the editing in this and the art design both got nominated for Oscars.
Well, they should have.
They didn't win, but they did get nominations. But your whole sets aren't very exciting looking. Your clothes
The
aren't very
exact opposite.
exciting looking.
The exact opposite.
But what is exciting? The way the camera works. It does all of the legwork.
Yeah,
for
well,
any kind
half,
of-
because they're the acting, I think, does too.
Well, the acting
And
does, but
it's very believable.
there's no conflict. There's no action.
Yeah.
It's just people talking.
Right.
So what you do is you have a split diopter lens to keep everything in focus, which is another way. We talk about that a lot too, but there's a lens they make that literally cuts it in half, and this is in focus and this is in focus. Really cool. This movie has 206 shots using a split diopter lens.
No kidding.
But it's constantly moving. The camera's pulling in and pushing out and moving over here. Like it feels like you're in the room too, getting antsy about what they're talking. Like, because you're normal.
Exactly.
You're a normal person. They're
just not shaking the camera like it's handheld.
buggy people. Yeah, like, or bookwormy people who know science. You're just a person. You're gonna be antsy. You're gonna be moving around a little bit, and it feels like that. And I love the way it's edited.
You know what else I like is like when they're going and discovering the bodies, the split screen stuff.
Or when they're going
cool.
under the house, the barn.
Yep.
We got them both on side. It's because it would be just boring
Exactly.
to how to track a guy looking through a house and then cut back and forth to a whole bunch of dead people. But if you have him constantly tracking, and over here you see what he's seeing, it's really well done.
That's really cool.
Or you're going down an elevator, and we're watching the elevator descend with a special effect, but then we on the left and the right hand sides, we have the guy and the girl talking.
Yeah.
It's dynamic. It's exciting. It's not just a static elevator shot.
Right.
There are static images in this, but they use them in ways that are profoundly exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Especially for movies that's as simple as...
This Robert Wise guy, he's pretty good.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing. And when he brought up that he worked with Orson Welles, I was like, well... I can tell. You can tell. He's not only is he telling a story through what the story is, but he's telling a story through how the camera's working.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It is. You really got to tip your hat to it.
Well, the industry tapped their hat to him lots of times. So
They did. This movie, where was I? Was extremely planned out. Like, everything was planned to the T. And we'll get to some parts of this that definitely had to have been planned. Otherwise, casualties would have happened. But even, like, how meticulous everything is, it was just very well done. Very well executed.
It was very well executed.
This is one of the technically best filmed movies I've ever seen.
It is.
It's a marvel.
And it's not boring. You said earlier, it's 131 minutes. That's over 2.5 hours. Over 2 hours.
The picture runs 130 minutes, says the poster.
Okay.
Oh, is that what you got for the poster?
Yeah.
It
I think
says,
that's the
and then
reverse.
covers 96 of the most critical hours in man history.
They really oversold. Sold that whole this really happened, and look how close you were to being annihilated. But it doesn't seem like it. It really moves right along.
Everybody's got a calm head about this
that
whole
too.
thing.
Except the lady that needs a cigarette
I love to,
and then has
this
an
is a small
epileptic
detail.
seizure.
Yeah. They give the key, the new key,
Oh, yeah.
to the single guy.
Right.
Because they factor in a whole bunch of different data.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, the person who's most likely to do what needs to be done is somebody who doesn't have somebody to worry about.
Yeah.
Like, if you're married, you got a family, you're going to hesitate
Right.
when you can't hesitate. And I thought that was a cool little detail to have.
Yeah, and that was a real thing that I just recently got basically disproven.
Really?
Like, it was a real thing that they would have a single guy be that guy to do anything like that. And
well, single,
was-
not just meaning one, but single as in he's not in a relationship.
right, it's just him.
Yeah.
All together. He doesn't have anybody counting on him or anything.
Nothing.
So, but yeah, that was a real thing. And they just recently, like in 2000 something, were like,
Disprove that.
doesn't really matter.
Well, because humans are humans.
Yeah.
You're going to worry about
And his
destroying
key
the world.
doesn't blow up the place. His key stops it from blowing up.
Which I also like. They prime the bomb right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
They're like, look, this is happening. We got to figure this out or we're all going to die. It's also stated that they're not stated in the film, but he stated that they borrowed upwards of $30 million worth of equipment for this film. So all those robotic arms you see, a lot of the suits that they're wearing, they're all real.
Wow.
And they were loaned out because the budget, he said, was about $6 million. So they just kind of borrowed that stuff. They gave it back, but like the insurance policy on that alone,
Yeah, it must have been
would have been
pricey.
insane. Yeah.
Holy cow.
'Cause that's, I don't know if that's adjusted $30 million, but
Probably not. And so it's probably not.
yeah.
It probably was $30 million back then, so like $150 million now. But when that first arm goes down and opens that up, I'm like, that was not believable to me. Because there's a learning curve to something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I
just
mean?
put
And
it
it
on.
just does it.
We don't have anything that advanced today.
Yeah.
You know, well, that I'm aware of. I don't have anything that advanced.
Right. Because they do. They make cars and stuff with them now.
Yeah, but like, you know, there's still people doing that stuff. Like
Yeah,
the
and like,
paint line. Who's it got? The Ferrari or the Bugatti? One of those Italian cars has a black paint line that goes around it. One man does that. It's not a
probably
robot.
Bugatti.
It's a guy who, and he holds.
Maybe
the
it's
brush
Lamborghini
like
because Lamborghinis are handmade.
maybe it is Lamborghini. It's one of those high-end imported Italian cars.
Right.
And he takes a brush, and that's why I'm doing this, and with his thumb, runs it across, and he holds the brush like that, and it's perfect every time. And he's old. He's like an older guy.
And I'd be the guy, be like, can you get that stupid line off there?
I'd be the guy like, why are we paying to have a line hand painted on this car?
Exactly.
I'm not a car guy. You know?
Well, car guys don't usually give a crap about one line painted all the way across.
But that's
They
what
care about where's the horsepower and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
a lot of the special effects in this movie were also practical. So they didn't do a lot of camera optics or
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they would need it either.
no, but they were done by Alex Trumbull, who did a lot of 2001's effects too.
Right.
Which, I mean, they're kind of computer
It's probably the
graphics.
model stuff, too.
That's what I think a lot
Yeah.
of it is. Because there's not a whole lot of matte paintings in this either.
No.
I think
I don't think
this
there's
might
any.
be the corridor to the bottom.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't look anything up. It doesn't look like a matte painting to me, though. It looks like they went into a silo and just shot it.
And that very well could be.
Right.
I'm going to take a little...
That, by the way, is the only exciting part of the whole movie.
Yeah, at the very, very end.
At the very end, they got to go get the key in there, and there's lasers shooting them and stuff.
Yeah, to stop them.
Yeah.
I also... Because they have 9 seconds left. They get it at the 9-second
Yeah.
mark, which is not as pleasing to hear that like, you hit it at the last second.
Right.
But again, last second, that's
me.
an action movie thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like that's another level of like realism this movie offers. A little side rant. I did not know anything about this movie going into it. I had no idea what the Andromeda Strain was. Because the word Andromeda I've used in both a paradox and the galaxy.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I was like, well, this could be anything. Did not think it was going to be a virus.
What's the Andromeda paradox?
I don't know. But I've heard about it.
I think it might be
Google that,
like
Randy.
you and I
Yep.
are both look at Andromeda at the same time.
Oh, and you look away and look back? And now we're
No.
looking
And when I see it, the aliens just left or are deciding to leave, and you sitting right there, they had already left. It's something stupid like that.
Because I've also heard, and kind of to touch on that, it was a cool thing to hear. Because light takes from the sun 8 minutes to get to us, so the light coming from all the way out there is taking millions and billions of years.
Yeah.
If you and I look up at a star, and then we're looking at the same time, we're both viewing the same exact stuff. But if I
Yeah.
look over here and look back up, I'm now viewing it hundreds of thousands of years after you're currently viewing it.
Right.
That's space and time is nuts to me.
It is nuts.
And I just like hearing Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it, man. I honestly
I like to know what he thinks about this movie.
I would too. He will put in his 2 cents with the science stuff,
which I love.
I do too, and I hate when people get on him for that stuff because it's awesome to hear about.
I just watched a video of him talking about that. He's like, people talk about if you were watching a cooking thing or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was. And then somebody knows about cooking and they say something about it. You're like, oh, they know about cooking.
Yeah.
And then he says something and they're like, oh, you're ruining it. No, man, it's cool. I'm still going to like it.
I will too. Yeah, because I like things. I'm not a hater.
It's not real because I'm in a movie theater or I'm watching it on TV.
One of the last ones he did was for The Force Awakens. He talked about how BB-8 on Jakku would not be able to move at all.
Right.
And when he was building up it, he's like, we got this ball who's insanely smooth, and he got this sandy planet. I was like, oh, he ain't gonna have any traction to stop. He'd be sliding all over like it was ice.
Right.
Well, kinda. He just wouldn't be able to move. He'd just be sitting there spinning there because he has no traction. He's got no grip. And I thought that was cool. To me, it adds no different than watching the bonus features on a movie.
Exactly.
Another way to...
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting next to a maquette of himself.
Yeah. Oh, my God. In Terminator 2?
I was thinking of... that
in Total Recall?
But yeah, in Terminator 2, too.
When they're picking out his brain, that's... what's her name?
Linda Hamilton's twin sister.
Yeah, they're twins, and it's not him, and then him over there, and how they mimic. Oh my God,
it's very cool.
So cool. James Cameron is a genius.
He is. He is a genius. What do you got?
So this is simplified. If one of the people were walking towards the galaxy, the Andromeda galaxy,
right,
then events in this galaxy might be hours or even days behind the events on Andromeda for the person walking away.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But that's how space works.
This is why I say that's bullshit, because I really just heard about this yesterday or the day before. I don't know why. But we're all on Earth. So really that little bit of difference of you walking on Earth 100,000 light years from something else is going to make that big a difference? I don't think so.
Well,
I think they're picking that shit out of pepper.
When you've got a flying in a car, and the car's going 70 miles an hour, and you slam on the brakes, the fly doesn't experience the same.
Exactly.
So
because it flies in the air.
And the air is not moving. The air is moving in relative to the car, which is moving connected to you. It's all mumbo jumbo science, physics.
All I'm saying is, if you look at an angle, at some point they touch. Well, the two people on Earth are the point touching each other. That's why I'm saying they're getting too nitpicky. That many of the events are going to happen that far apart or looking down and looking back up. They go a little too far. And if Neil deGrasse Tyson has a problem with it, he can come on the show and tell it to me in my face.
Well, I don't know what Neil deGrasse Tyson's take on the paradoxes are, because it wasn't him who did the other one I was talking about. It was some guy disputing, if you think about it like this way, kind of stuff. But I would like to know what he thinks about that, because he understands it at a level that I don't.
Yeah, just explain that to me, because we're at the point... The tippy-top point of it, where they're connected, are two human beings.
But if the point isn't us and the point's actually down here...
Well, then you're not doing it.
We're still seeing it differently.
Yeah, I understand that. Or like, what's that called? Parallax viewing planets and shit. All that makes total sense. All I'm saying is we're on a planet, and we're too close together. Or if I walk over there, I'm still too close to you for it to make that big of a difference. That's all I'm saying. Nobody cares.
Well, and
nobody's watching this because of our stupid, we don't know what we're talking about, discussion about things we don't know what we're talking about.
It can't happen anyway because the dome over the Earth would allow for that.
Yeah. Right.
We all know the Earth is flat.
The Andromeda Galaxy is just something that's painted on the dome.
Yeah, the government painted it up there. It's not even real.
Right.
And
that's why this is such science fiction, because you know, the Earth is flat and nothing has ever gone into space. So we did not. Oh, that's what it comes from.
Oh, it's an alien too. Yeah, it's an alien life form, by the way.
Which you don't. It's an alien invasion movie.
Yeah, on the micro scale.
Yeah, it is because when they're looking at it, there's a satellite called the Scoop program, and it got a little tiny piece of something, which I thought was kind of cool because the mesh where it hit is bent in because it would have been going like 30,000 miles an hour, and on that is some little microbes that turn all your blood into coagulant.
Yes.
It coagulates all your blood. I think in the book
they cut open the wrist
and sand comes out.
Yeah.
But like in the book they say it kills every germ and you have germs
kind of die
in you, that you have to have.
Yeah.
And
a lot
that's
of
the
actual
problem.
needed bacteria in your body that just wiped. Well, I mean, like that's a lot of people are like, oh, you know, pH stuff for this
your gut biome.
Yeah, all that stuff that washes you out. It can make you real sick.
Yeah, you need your
really
gut
bad.
biome.
Yeah.
And the pH thing is total BS, by the way. If your
sit
pH and
you're
your
gonna sit here
blood
and tell
changed,
me
I'm going to tell you.
You would immediately die.
Yes. Come on, don't be
very
stupid.
painful.
And people spend thousands of dollars on this shit. Oh my God, the world we live in. That's why I go back in time to 1971 and for real, watch the Andromeda Strain. It's a good time.
I was drinking one of those alkaline waters once, and you were like, "Why are you drinking that? Do you think the pH?" And I was like, "It's bigger." I wanted a bigger water because I was really thirsty, and it's just the biggest one they had.
I like to get them. This came from a glacier in Iceland.
Yeah.
Well, I could get them at Ross for $1 instead of paying $10 for it. I don't know if it's from a glacier that's tens of thousands of years old. And that's why I'm like, I'm getting this one just to be a goof. Because I told it to Polly one time, too. I'm getting this one because it came from a glacier. Or it comes from Hawaiian Springs.
Natural Springs.
Yeah, it came out of somebody's tap downtown.
There's a meme I saw on the internet. It's like their Himalayan pink salt that they mined from a mountain. It's like, thank God they mined it when I did because it expires next year.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
I lost it. Oh, man. The New York Times.
That pink Himalayan stuff does anything.
It's not iodized, so if you want to watch
it's supposed to iodize the air. Not ionize the air, not iodize the air. So that
it's just not iodized salt. That's mainly.
And you need iodine.
You do need iodine.
I don't know if it works or not, but it looked pretty cool. I wouldn't spend that kind of money on a ugliest lamp on Earth.
You got to lick it too.
Oh, that's what okay.
So you're doing it wrong. You got to lick it. The New York Times, his biggest complaint with this, and the guy doing the commentary on this was like, this is absolutely wrong. He said, there's not a whole lot going on in this movie. He's like, that's a whole lot. That's BS. There's so much going on in this movie. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right. I get what he's saying, though.
I do, too.
Movie-wise, it seems like there's not a lot going on, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And they break up into teams, and the teams are all doing stuff. It's an exciting movie. It's really
got a lot
good.
of moving parts in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you ever seen Outbreak? Is Outbreak the other one you were thinking of?
Outbreak was the other one I said. And then
you said Contagion.
Then yes, Outbreak.
Okay. Yeah, like that is way more exciting than like action-wise because they're chasing for a monkey and stuff. But it's the same exact thing. There's scientists trying to solve a problem.
And it's a scientist movie. Like, it is a science movie.
Yeah, it's
That's
good.
What's so good about it.
It's good. It's hard sci-fi.
It is. It is. It's not so much like Jurassic Park where you've got like a fantastical element to it.
And nothing's gigantic and going to eat you.
No, it's small.
Or small and going to eat you.
Oh, man, I wish they make Micro. Have you read Micro?
No.
It's about it's the lab that created a shrinking ray, and these people have been going missing, so these activists go to find it, and the guy's like, all right, shrinks you guys too, and then takes them out into the woods in Hawaii, like a mile and a half away, and just throws them away.
Right.
And they have to get back there, and surviving
exactly.
micro world.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh my God. There's a part in it, and I can't get this out of my head, where like one of those huntsman spiders stalks on these guards who are going out there to kill him because they're not dead yet, and the survivors kind of hide away and stay really still, and he's all gloating and stuff like that, and it grabs him and immediately starts filling him with poison or venom, and for a bug that's got a carapace, like all its insides would start liquefying so it can drink it and then drop a shell. We don't have that.
Yeah.
So he starts liquefying alive, and the spider just molds him into a ball and just eats him. It's terrifyingly descriptive and disgusting.
When they make that movie, they have got to have that in there.
Oh my God. It's been in production hell for a while, but man,
So
they can make it an anime.
Another Michael Crichton
miniseries.
I think it's called Sphere. Have you ever seen that?
No, but it's been recommended to me on Audible.
Because everybody hates it.
Why?
I don't know. It's fucking great. Samuel Jackson, Dustin Hoffman, and Sharon Stone are in it.
Already sold.
Yeah, and there's a fire. They're the team, the band that got to get back together. Mm-hmm. There's this weird sphere under the ocean that they find, and I think it's really cool, and it's really like surreal. It has surreal stuff to it. It's really good though, man. And like Congo, I think he wrote Congo too.
Yeah, I think he did.
Not a good. Congo sucks. That is a crappy movie.
Oh man!
But Sphere is really good.
I like Congo.
Yeah,
I like Congo.
I
probably
like Congo.
The majority for Tim Curry. Because he's in it.
Yeah.
And I love Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I haven't read the Congo book though. It's one I do want to read. That's a New York Times bestseller too.
Yeah, probably just because of Jurassic Park, but. Yeah, I only watched that movie because it's notoriously bad, and I agree with it. It's not that good.
Not that good.
And they don't use real gorillas, and you can tell they're real good, but you
Fake
can tell. Michael Crichton
before we
good.
get back to the looping around to the monkeys, because that'll come back to play in here.
Yeah.
What was I just about to say? Well, we'll go on to the monkeys then. So, in this movie. We see. Oh no! I wanted to talk about how the dude scientist thinks that the girl scientist is just looking at green paint when she's zooming in on that stuff.
Well, she says she's like, isn't she the one that says it's paint? Like she wants to go. They're gonna take a break or something, and they're looking at it. He's like, well, what's this green stuff? She's the one that says that, right?
I thought it was.
He's like, it's paint or whatever. Yeah,
don't mind it.
Yeah,
and she keeps blowing up on it, and it starts. And they're like.
Moving and stuff, yeah,
and they're like, "Well, that's weird." That's just so perfectly. It's half. The last half of the movie too is when you find out it's aliens.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like
if you didn't know it going in, which I did. So
I mean, it was spoiled because he said that it's alien bacteria. So I was like, okay, so it's alien bacteria. So we got a reverse War of the Worlds here. Where instead
yeah, exactly.
He also brought up that like this pathogen probably wouldn't survive in our atmosphere.
That makes total sense.
Because like in order to survive on this planet, you have to be built to survive on this planet.
Right, but panspermia, you know what that is?
No.
Like rocks from distant galaxies billions of years ago came here with microbes on them, and that's where we come from.
Well, but that was back when, the world was still gas and growing.
Well, no, there was enough stuff that like, that's how they think life got to Earth.
We're going to take a quick break.
They do animal testing in this movie like it's nothing.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
So
bring in the Reese's.
How they did that was they suffocated them. They pumped them full of carbon monoxide.
When if they pass out and don't, that they get their picture and then they put the oxygen back. It's only carbon monoxide.
Yeah, it's only one of the deadliest gases.
Oh yeah, it'll kill you.
So when that monkey starts really kind of freaking out, he's freaking out. They're killing him, and then you can see movement, a shadow, right before they cut. The handler is right there with oxygen. He's got a huge oxygen tank to bring the monkey back. They did it with the
Man.
rats too. Then
I was wondering how they done. Like, they must be pumping something in there to just put the rat out. No, they were. Well, they might have been pumping in carbon monoxide,
they were,
but they're taking the oxygen out or whatever. However, they did it the easiest way.
but I couldn't. I was like, "What? That's insanely dangerous."
It is dangerous.
But this was before a lot of the
yeah.
regulations happened in
Right.
movies, and they used to just
So,
torture animals in movies.
Well, in
not in a movie, but in real life. My friend works for a company, and he does stuff in crawl spaces. Mm-hmm. And if they find an animal that's not supposed to be there, that they don't have like the poison for, they're supposed to like put it in a special bag, hook it up to the exhaust of their car, and carbon monoxide like euthanize them that way.
Oh, that's terribly
Yeah, when he was,
It's only It's
he told me that. I was like, have you done that yet? He said, no, thank God. I was like, yeah, that'd be crazy.
it would be crazy, but the thing is,
But people at his work were bragging about it. I was like, sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I just.
sometimes I go and get somebody's cat.
These are monsters. With
Yeah, you know,
crazy people.
If there's a raccoon under there, you just take it by the back of the neck and the tail and just hold it under the water until it stops fighting.
Well, that's the thing. Like that, you don't fight it or anything. You just pass out and don't
Yeah.
wake up. It's totally painless.
You're fighting for your life the entire time.
If you feel like
Aware.
you're choking, but if it like that's why people do it with cars, because you just sit there, you get tired, and you don't wake up.
Ah, man, I don't know. I couldn't do that.
I couldn't do it
we do
either.
not
Never
recommend
do that.
any of this.
No, I don't. If that was a part of my job, I don't have that job anymore.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'd
I was
rather
On
have
like,
day
food
one,
yo.
the orientation is, hey,
It was his
Yeah.
coworkers being like, so this is what you're supposed to do. And then a bunch of them were like, bro, I don't even do it. Like, and then joked with them. And I was like, how old were these people? They were like older
then they did
alcoholics.
that. They're not.
So,
It's not a joke.
so
yeah.
they had other things going on that weren't
Good
just like,
God.
oh, I'm normal and sometimes I suffocate animals.
And by animals, I mean children.
But yeah, so that's wildly dangerous.
That part is, and it's realistic because their attitude towards it's all right. Now do the monkey.
Yeah,
Is
see how fast it kills them.
and yeah, it's
And then they incinerate the bodies.
yeah but that's how those people think.
They're science. They kind of have to.
Yeah.
You know, they
And
have to
that-
put life to the side to
Right.
save it.
But it's not like it just reminded me of that Family Guy when they're like, okay, put the lipstick on the rabbit, and then they shoot the rabbit's head off. Lipstick doesn't stop bullets. It's not ridiculous like that, or never mind.
it's not as egregious as that.
Yeah, and there is stuff that those people that fight against animal testing and stuff. There are examples that are true that they are right. They're not just kooks,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
and it is just as ridiculous as lipstick doesn't stop bullets. It's just that bad.
Oh man, my other point. There it goes. It's going again, man. Oh, I cannot remember. Oh, he brought up a movie. I don't know what movie this is, and part of me is kind of curious to find it out. But apparently, there's this movie where these people are going down this little road, and they had to keep pushing a dog into the water, and shoving the dog into the water. That was like part of the scene. Well, the dog didn't like it, and after a while, was fighting back.
Yeah.
Because it didn't want to get shoved into this water. A lot of horses, a lot of the time, they would.
What the hell movie is that?
I don't know. He didn't say the name of it.
Why would you write
Bully
a thing?
this dog.
It's
real
a
quick.
cat person
Walk.
must be like, yeah, and just keep pushing the dog in the water.
We've all had dogs. You've accidentally stepped on a dog's tail. It looks up at you. It's like, what's up?
Yeah.
What did I do? And then you're doing it over and over and over. It's torture. It's terrible.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's really all I had about this movie, other than it was a very pleasant surprise going to this
That's
blind.
cool.
I didn't know I was because I watched this and I watched another movie right after it, and I didn't know I accidentally set myself up for a sci-fi horror double feature kind of thing. But it was a very pleasant movie. I'd give it a thumb and a half up.
I give it a thumbs up. It's good.
Yeah.
I would have watched it
as
if Chris
dated
Pratt
as it
was
is.
in it.
What'd you say?
I would have watched it if Chris Pratt was in it.
Remake it with Chris Pratt. And I kind of wish you did watch it because you tune out and you'll turn movies off. Like Rock and Roll High School, you just kind of stop watching that.
Look.
And I want to know how far into this movie
I would like to
gotten.
know that too.
I'll start doing at least that.
Yeah, that's Tom. That's your opinion,
That's like,
and if you don't watch the whole thing,
my opinion, man.
is part of why you didn't watch the whole thing. Is your opinion? That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying.
All right, controversy. I don't know who Vincent Price is. I'm kidding.
Have you seen anything with him in it?
Probably.
Did you ever see Edward Scissorhands?
I've seen
The Great Mouse Detective?
The Great Mouse.
He's the
that
bad
one.
guy in that.
And I've seen Thriller.
He's
Well, that's
not
just
in
his
that.
voice.
He's in it.
They do. I went. I don't know. I probably said this before. We watched the Thriller music video. The movie theater they're in when they leave. That's got a whole bunch of their Vincent Price posters all over it. It's really cool. I love that man. He's so cool. Reading his audiobook, and they point out stuff that he's like, because he was never afraid to do anything. He would do anything.
Oh,
even
Vincent Price?
Up and coming kids show like the Muppets. It's fun because he's on the first season as himself.
Yeah, that Vincent Price one is great.
It is.
It is very cool.
The Muppet Show
Was great.
I
The second iteration was not so good because they wanted to be more adult.
they wanted to be adult from jump.
Yeah, but the adult stuff from the old one it's just better.
Tasteful.
It's
know-
more tasteful, yeah.
Do you know Jim Henson wanted the Muppets, like Sesame Street's for the kids, and the Muppets are for adults. Like,
Yeah.
straight. There's no kid stuff here. It's just adults.
Yeah, and it seems that way, the old Muppet Show. It doesn't pander to kids, and it's not so dirty that kids can't watch it.
No, but it was going to be called the Muppets Sex and Murder or something like that. Like that was what he was pushing.
Well, his son made that other movie. I can't remember the name of it now. That puppet detective movie.
It's gone. I know that with
Yep, she's in it.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, yeah.
Man, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
But that was
too.
pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It's not as good as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but it's in that kind of vein.
Have you seen the Chip and Dale movie?
I did.
No.
I thought it was good.
It's pretty good.
liked
It's
it.
it's kind of in the same vein as Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, is it?
They have Ugly Sonic in it.
It's not.
From the first Sonic, like the first
Yeah,
Sonic that
the
got
trailer
released.
that
They
was
changed it. They got
disgusting.
him in it.
It's not as good as Who Framed Roger Rabbit for a couple different reasons, but it is a good. If
If you like that sort of thing.
Good
if I'm having like a chicken dinner
Uh-huh.
and you've got apple pie for dessert, it complements it.
Right,
kind of
right,
thing.
right.
Like it doesn't take away from anything. But yeah, check this movie out.
Check
It's
this
really
movie
good.
out. It's good. It's very good.
Let me know what you think. Let us know what you think.
Definitely.
Leave a like, comment, follow, subscribe. Find us on all your social media platforms. We are everywhere. We are in your house. Not really, but we are if you put us on.
Or we're in your car or on your
phone.
bus trip, wherever you are.
Wherever you're listening to podcasts, we are there, and we are always going to be there. We love you. I am Cheese Film.
And I'm Hecubus.
And I'm Randy.
Camera on.
This has been the Grindhouse Podcast. Cheese Film. Out.